Well, here it is, folks, another Polaris 325. This time I picked this up in town. It's a 325 Magnum, not sure of the year yet, probably somewhere around 2000, 2003. I think it's a 03. Comparing to the blower cover, it looks kind of like the one that was on the 330. But picked this one up cheap. Supposedly it's got a locked up motor and it's been sitting for years. But this is actually a two-wheel drive, so it don't have nothing up here. It looks funny. It's a two-wheel drive, 4-stroke. So didn't get very much story. I think it was belonged to a relative and it locked up from sitting. He already took the plug out and put some penetrating oil in it. I think I see why it's locked up. The starter gear's hung out. That's what's wrong with it. You can see it's trying to move. So the starter gear is actually hung out. That's what's holding it. I bet you we get the starter gear out of there and it'll crank right up. I did get the side cover and the seat and the pool cover. But it's all there. It's got like brand new tires on it. Picked this thing up cheap. Real cheap. It's Memorial Day, so cheap Memorial Day price. It's got some GKTs on it, 10-inch. Look at her, still got the tits on it. No key. They lost the key to it. Looked like it had a gun rack on it one time. Brand new fronts. So yeah, two-wheel drive, 325. Let's get it back to the shop. See if we can get this thing going. Yes, let's go. Well, we got this thing unloaded. Got the plastics back off. Kind of stuck them on there just to see how it looked all complete. So this thing is supposed to have a locked engine. The guy said that it sat for a long time. He pulled the spark plug out and he seen some rust in the spark plug hole. And then he said that he pulled off the pool cover and he tried to turn it over with a ratchet and it wouldn't turn. But right off the bat, I see that the starter gear is hung up in the starter. And that's locked up probably from getting rained on. And you can see it move just a little bit, just a rock. So we need to get this out of here. Then we can get a, I think this is a 7/8. We can get a 7/8 socket and ratchet and see what it's spin over. But this is lodged in there. And look. So you can see as I move it, you can see the flywheel trying to turn. So he might have hit the start button and this thing got hung out, got the motor locked. So we'll try and get that out. It's got a Duralast battery in it. Duralast AutoZone battery in it. It was a little low on acid, so I put some acid in it and put it on charge, put my meter on it. It's showing 13 volts. So let's see if we can get this starter gear out. Got some pliers. So you can see the bottom end turning. But I don't want to have to take the flywheel out just to get this thing out of there. We let it sit up without the cover on there. So these things are supposed to ratchet. I see the starter turning. It's supposed to ratchet out when the starter turns one way. It spins this starter gear the opposite way to kick out and hit the flywheel. But man, that sucker will not come out of there. Usually they come right out, but with this one, it's ratchet out fully. So I'm gonna I'm gonna have to take the flywheel off to get it out. Because it's hitting the back of the I mean, it is. It's completely locked up. So that's possibly what the problem is. So I'm gonna have to get this footstep off and get my puller and get this flywheel off, and then we can get that out of there. Should be able to rotate the motor then. And I got another one, a used one. We'll stick it in there. This thing's got a bingled up key switch. It's got a toggle switch on it, which I don't know where it goes. And the key switch was missing the key. Someone dug in it. He said he lost the key to it, but I got a new key switch for it. It's just 4 wires. So let me get this footstep off, get some tools so we can pull that flywheel off. Alrighty, so I finally got that side step off that was blocking the flywheel. You have to remove that side step because you can't get a good straight shot at the flywheel nut. So let's pull this flywheel off of here. Got some tools. Let's get that starter gear out. I have a good used replacement starter gear. I think that's a, forgot what socket that is. I think that is a 1-inch, or is it 5/16? Let's see what we got. That was a 7/8. So I got a replacement starter gear that should be a good one. Many Polarises I've owned over time, I should have a decent starter gear. So let's see if we can get this off. Socket, and there's a washer, and I got a harmonic balancer puller that works great. You can use one of these, or they have special flywheel pullers. And I got some long bolts. Kind of made some spacers with some nuts. It's just the only way you're gonna get it off without messing up. The shaft threads. Run them in there a little bit. You want to make sure they're even, so you get an even pull. What I normally do is just pull it back, and you can tell if it's not even. You don't have to run it all the way in there. Just enough threads to hold the puller be off a little bit. And that is a 19 or a 3/4. Just want to put some pressure on it. Take you a good hammer, smack it. You don't want to hit on it too hard, mess up the crankshaft or the crankshaft bearings. This one ain't never been off before. I'm gonna hit the camera. I heard it then, I think. Man, that sucker still won't come out. There it goes. It's been sitting outside with no cover on it so long. We should just be able to slide that out of there. Yeah, that starter gear there is froze solid. Might need to, we don't have to pull the flywheel all the way off. We could, just to take a look, make sure there's no rust. Oh yeah, that definitely needs to be cleaned out. That is real dirty. We need to clean all these coils off. Yeah, that wouldn't have ran. We need to clean that bushing out. That's where the starter gear rides. Let's get some wire brushes. Sometimes you just can't say never do it. You gotta do it, or it's gonna bite you in the long run. Let's see if we got some kind of electrical cleaner. I don't really want to spray brake cleaner on those coils. We'll hit it with a wire brush first. Get some of this off. Then I'll take the air hose. You want to make sure that little key, Woodruff key, stays on the crankshaft. Don't have any electrical parts cleaner. I wish I had some. I might have to go get some. I like to get all the dust and rust off of these coils. That way it'll have a better magnetic feel inside of the flywheel. This thing's set with no cover on it, so, and even if it had a cover on it, these things build up moisture. If the gasket fails, it lets water inside of this cover, and that can rot out the crankshaft seal, which is behind here. When you take the mag off, and it can rust up the flywheel and make the magnets on the flywheel detach. I'm just clean this up the best we can. That little bush in there, does the starter turn? Yeah, starter turns. Those teeth will clean up once that's starter gear starts to turn. Let me get something to blow all that off. Ooh. Man, I'm covered. Camera's covered. Let me blow the flywheel off so I can stick it back on. Hopefully this thing will turn over. Man, this thing got some. A lot of the rust chunks is sticking to the magnets. Had to get a rag and clean that off. Looks more better there. It's got a little rust pit I can feel with my finger. I'm gonna take some, I think I got a piece of emery cloth. I'm gonna clean that up because that can catch the coil. I mean, it'll probably rub off, but we want to do it right. There's no I think we're good. So now we need to let's see, I got a wire brush. I don't know if that's gonna do anything. Got a small one. Bushing out. And on back of these starter gears there's a small little spacer. You want to make sure you take that off. This one's it's this little shim. We'll make sure that goes on your new gear. This should be a good starter gear. You don't have to pull the flywheel off. To change this gear. It's just that it was rusted in there. I think that's the best one I got. I got another one, but I don't. One of them I had wasn't any good. This one right here is about that one. Just don't look right. Let's go with this other one. Now I act like it's getting stuck. I say we go with the first one. That one was hanging up. So that one springs back pretty good. That's what you want to see. You want it to spring back. So let's put the flywheel back on. You want to catch that. Locked up. It only turns. It's trying to free up though. I think it'll free up. He said he put some oil in the cylinder. I don't know how long ago he did. But that starter gear was hanging out and it wouldn't let it turn. I wish there was a way you can crank it with the starter without the cover on it, but the starter gear will fall out. Tried that before. Let's see if we can get a ratchet on there. I'm gonna pull the plug out. Plug is just sitting in the hole. Smells like PB Blaster. Let's see if we can get it to bump over. She's pretty tight going that way. Let's see if we can go back the other way. It wants to. There it goes. Nope, it stops. So we got some rotation. So that means it's got some rust somewhere in the cylinder. That's just taking the nut loose. I didn't torque it all the way. So we got half a rotation. So it's definitely either something in the cylinder, or hopefully we don't have a valve that's stuck. It's hitting a valve. But it's definitely locked. So I'm gonna spray some more PB Blaster in it. And let's let it sit. Really need to put like some mystery oil. The PB Blaster works pretty good. I got some WD too. I don't know how much you put in there, but unless there's something in the belt cover. Me and these belt covers on these Polarises. So I put some PB Blaster in there, almost the rest of the can. So let's just kind of massage it a little bit. So it gets right there and it stops. But it'll almost turn. Don't want to force it because it could be a valve. What we need to check is the oil. Let's see what kind of. I don't know what they tighten those dipsticks with. That'll be a telltale sign. Ooh. It's completely full. I'll show y'all. Should have checked that a little sooner. It's filled all the way to the rim. Get my light. Look at that. It's not supposed to be that full. That's past the dipstick level. What that mean? Did somebody put too much oil in it? Did they put, let's see what this is. It's oil, it's engine oil, but it's way overfilled. I don't know if he did that or somebody didn't know how much oil to put in it. But let's just let it sit in the cylinder. We'll let it sit, and I keep messing with it after it sits for a while. And if it don't turn all the way over, then we know it's got rust in the cylinder. Now we do have this 330 motor that I took out of the that 330. If you watch that video, which the 330 is gone, it's sold. So this engine here just needed a timing gear because the timing gear was broke and a gasket set. And this was a good engine. So we could, if we have to, put this engine together, slide it off in there and have a 330 two-wheel drive. But let's just let it sit for now, and we'll get back with it. Alright, we got some good news. So I went ahead and pulled the plastics off, and this thing has been under the water. You can see all the mud. It's really, really dirty. And I hooked my harmonic balancer puller back on the flywheel so I can be able to spin it. And I pull the valve caps off. It looks pretty clean in there. I just wanted to make sure that the valves wasn't stuck. And here is, it's kind of hard to get up under there. There's the exhaust valve. So I spun it and let it get to the stuck part and then spun it back. And I can see the valves moving. And I just said, you know what, let's just put a little force on it. Light's going dead. And now it spins all the way over. I just kept rocking it and rocking it till I can get it past that spot. And it blew out the PB blaster out the spark plug hole. Now it turns over pretty easy. Now I don't know if they swamped this thing and they got water in the cylinder or what. But as muddy as it is, it's definitely been underwater. So I'm gonna push it outside and pressure wash it before I go any further. But yeah, the valves, let's see. And that one's moving. You can probably see it. Kind of hard to focus in on it. Yeah, it's kind of hard to get in there. But you can see it going up and down. Yeah, I'm trying to focus in on it. It's kind of hard. And then you got intake. As I spin it, trying to be still. Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and put the valve caps back on it, get it pushed outside, pressure wash it. I'm gonna drain all that stuff out of the bottom end because it's over fuel with oil or water. And I got a new oil filter for it, got a new air filter for it, new key switch for it. I got the parts to fix the pool cover. Put the battery on battery 10. After I put a little acid in it, it showed that it had some voltage. And another thing I noticed, this thing has been flipped. If you look at the handlebars, they're kind of tweaked to the side. You can tell right up in here that it's bent. So the steering stem is pushed back into the side. And also that steer bushing is wore out, which I got one on the other 325. These are always wore out. So I might just change the whole steering stem, just take the handlebars off. I got a steering stem bushing for the bottom that came in a kit. So I might change the whole steering stem because it's pushed back and then it's cocked to the side. And I was wondering why when I took the plastics off, it was kind of hard to get them off because they're pushed back so far. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead, button it up, get it outside, get it pressure washed. The carburetor, don't know about it yet. Probably gonna have to get a new one. I have one. It was kind of finicky on the 325 that I put together a couple months ago. But yeah, we'll see when we get there. Let's first get it cleaned off real good and get the oil drain. Fuel pump, I'm gonna go ahead and just order a new one. I'm not even gonna fool with this one. I can smell bad gas in the gas tank anyway. So I'm gonna order a new fuel pump for it, and we should be good to go. But first off, let's get it clean. Alright, so what I decided to do was do a compression test on this thing since we got the engine freed up. I got the carburetor off and it looks kind of toasty. The flap is frozen and I can smell the hint of bad gas. I got a new key switch installed, but it's not turning over by the start button. I actually found out that they got this little toggle switch hooked up going straight to the starter solenoid, so they had some wiring issues, and I can't get the power to turn on so we can check the firing or the fire on the spark plug. But let's just see how much compression it's got. I haven't checked that yet. I want to do that with y'all. Hopefully it's got enough compression where we'll be able to make this one run since it was locked up. Let's see here. I have to jump the starter. I no juice going to the starter solenoid. Check these battery cables. We have a loose connection somewhere because okay. Here's something. Hear that sizzling sound? Is that the sound of compression? Alright, let's see what we got. We ain't got jack. Let me put my finger over it to see what it feels like. It's got a little bit. I can hear compression coming back through the intake. It could be a valve that's not seating all the way, but it don't feel like it's got anything really. It's barely pushing my finger. So I gotta get the ignition system going so we can see if we got spark. Maybe we can get it to hit off on some fuel with the compression it does have, which is next to nothing. Maybe those rings are stuck because, like I say, it was stuck in the top end. We got it freed up, so it could just be stuck rings, or it could be a valve not seating all the way. But we know that the valves are moving because I spun it over without the rocker caps on, and you can see the rockers and the valve stem going up and down. So I'm going to go through the ignition system so I can get some power so we can check for spark. We get some spark, we might be able to force it to run, and if we don't ever get any compression back, then we know this motor needs a rebuild. They might have swamped it. Like I said, everything was covered in mud all the way up to the carburetor, and that carburetor looked like it got water in it. Looking at all that corrosion, and that throttle flap won't open. So they might have ran it under water and got water in it, and then it set, and then it locked up. So, well, I'm gonna keep digging into the wiring, see if I can get that straight, and we will go from there. So I have completely went through this four-wheeler from front to back, straightening out the wiring work that I don't know if the last owner had, the guy I got it from, or the owner before that. But hooked up the new key switch. Didn't have any spark to the spark plug. They had a toggle switch ran from the old starter solenoid. I guess they were just bypassing everything, so I put a new solenoid on, wired that up right. Still didn't have any spark, no start at the start button. Had an extra CDI box, swapped that out, still no spark, still no start at the start button. Went through all the wiring that they did to the key switch. Man, I got that stuff on my hand and it looks horrible. And still no spark, no start at the start button. Checked all the connections, relays, everything. But I got to this handle here and look what I got. I got a neutral light and I also got start. And we also got spark now. I even disconnected this, there's a kill switch inside of this thumb throttle. That's what those two wires. That's just in case if you roll over and that throttle hangs, it kills the engine instantly. But now we have good spark. So I can do one or two things. This handle here, the start button, hangs up. Because how these start buttons work, you push up on it like that to make it start. And then you're on and off side to side. Well, this one, the spring is missing. I think this came off one of the other 325s. But I could just take stuff out of here and make this one work. Or I could go on the old Amazon and just buy a brand new one for like 15 bucks. And have it here the next day. So, but now I gotta go back, tape all these wires up, get all that nice and neat. I got a carburetor coming because this one is junk, and the battery has been holding. I've been jumping it at the solenoid, and that battery it's been holding a charge, so that's good. So I'm gonna see if I can get this handle tomorrow, because the carburetor will be coming tomorrow. If I can get it tomorrow, I'm gonna go ahead and just order a new handle. I really don't feel like taking all that stuff apart, trying to make that one work. But I am gonna go ahead and button that up, and hopefully we can get a carburetor on it. It don't have that much compression. Maybe the rings are stuck. Maybe we can shoot it with some gas or something, get it to fire up. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and drain the oil out of this thing because it is overfilled all the way to the top of the dipstick. And I'm going to put a new oil filter and oil in it. Even though the engine is showing low compression, we try and run this thing. I don't want to hurt the engine no more than it already is. So we'll put some fresh oil. So what I did, I loosened the drain plug, and immediately water started coming out, just a trickle. So go ahead and drain it, and I'll let y'all see it. I mean, it was quite a bit of water. Oops, trying to get y'all set up there. There we go. So that tells me that this thing's got swamped. So let's see here. I honestly think it got swamped in some water. Look at that. Look at that. Straight up water. That is ridiculous. Should be getting oil pretty soon. There we go. So I think they swamped this thing and then they let it sit. Maybe it quit running, and it's set up with water in the engine instead of them just draining it, and that's what got the ring stuck. Then we're starting to get oil, milky oil. I wouldn't be surprised they ran it with that amount of water in there. I think this only got one drain plug. I'm gonna let it drain, take the oil filter off. It might be a good idea to flush it out with something like some diesel fuel or some kind of engine flush, so it can get all that stuff out of there, because this is gonna be draining for a while. So anyway, just wanted to show y'all that what happens when you run a four-wheeler in a swamp. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and let this drain out. Sound like I got an Amazon package, and be more four-wheel parts. So I'm gonna let this drain out of there, and we will move on when we get the other parts for it. But yeah, super milky water. More water. Alright, so we got the new carburetor and fuel pump in today, and also the new on and off start button switch. So this is just a typical Chinese brand aftermarket carburetor. Got the vacuum fuel pump. It comes with a new fuel filter, and it comes with two new fuel filters. It don't come with extra jets. A lot of these carburetors come with like an extra jet, like pilot jet and main jet. This one just came with the little choke cable adapter and the side cover. So this is the original carburetor here. It's a Mikuni, I believe. Yeah, Mikuni carb. So in past experience, can't get it out. In the past, my past experience, with these carburetors, usually they say they fit a bunch of different stuff, and they don't. I mean, they do fit. They fit the engines, but the jetting is not jetted to that engine. And a lot of them come with extra jets. And so you have to put the jets that's close to your factory style jets in these aftermarket carburetors. That's why they give you a bunch of extra parts. You tear down a brand new carburetor, swap the jets. So what I've been doing, if I got the original carburetor, I take the factory jets, main jet and pilot jet, sometimes the needle on the slider, and I clean it, put it all in the aftermarket carburetor. That way the engine will run like it's supposed to, because sometimes they put the wrong jets in these aftermarket carburetors, and you go to crank it up and it's either running too lean or it's running too rich. It don't idle right, and then you have to tear it down. Now sometimes they will send you the right size jets, the factory number jet, to go into these, and they have a little number stamped on the side. And like this one, they didn't. I didn't realize they didn't. But I'm gonna take the bowl off of this one, take the bowl off of this one. I'm gonna take the main jet and pilot jet out of it, stick it over in the new carb, and it should, if this carburetor was manufactured right, it should run just like this one did when it was brand new. So I'm gonna swap that over, and we'll get the carb on there and see if we can get this thing fired up. All right, guys, it's that time. Let's see what this thing runs. So I got the carburetor all the way back together. We got our little gas bottle hooked up temporarily. And once I find out that it runs, and runs pretty good, then we'll move on to putting the gas tank and fuel pump and all that stuff. So I'm gonna put some gas in it. I also put fresh oil in it, new oil filter. This has a little two-stroke oil pre-mixed. Make sure the carburetor ain't leaking, because usually they start leaking right off the bat. Okay, I don't see anything right now. Key is on. New switch. All right, here we go. What was that? Oh, I forgot to tighten the oil drain screw up. Popped right out of there. That is one noisy starter. We lost juice somewhere. Don't tell me this switch is bad too. Huh. Somehow we lost power. Okay. Well, what happened? Just turn over and then it just quit. I see the headlight button on. Don't tell me this handle's crappy. Oh, I see what it is. I don't have it tight enough. That handle grounds to the handlebars. Oh. When I move it, it comes on. What's up with that? Not getting a good connection here. Let me pull it back some. Something's loose. Looks like it's the plug. Why is there always something? If I hold it like that, the neutral light stays on. Might have flooded it, but for some reason the switch ain't working. Switch keep we ain't got nothing. One of them still firing. Don't sound too hot. Did we just waste a bunch of time? We know it was weak on compression. Let's see. Yeah, we got fire. Motor might be toast. It didn't hit off. That did not sound good. It spit back through the carburetor a little bit. We might have to check the valves. Valve could be sticking. Woo! Got a backfire. Could it have had jump time? Nice little backfire there. The starter's red hot. You let that starter cool off some, and I don't want to burn it up, and we'll let that sit and get back with it. So I tried to crank this thing, it just spits and pops through the intake. So I pulled the intake boot off, and right off the bat I see rust down in there, and I'm wondering if that valve is not seating, and that will let compression blow by, because it's kind of spitting back out the carburetor like gas, and I can hear it, air sound when I spin it over. So let's just spin it over with the carb off and see if we can hear any noise. We'll cut this air conditioner off so we can hear. Because I can hear like a air seeping sound. I hope this battery's not dead. Because I left the key on the other day. Let's see. That starter sounds horrible. I see the valve moving, but I can't tell if it's closing all the way, but there's a lot of rust around that valve stem. So I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and pull the head off. If I pull the head off, flip it over, we'll be able to tell if the valve is seating, and if they're seating good, then that means this engine is just toast, got water in it, it's been sitting, and the rings might be stuck. So my other option is that engine over there, which is a 330 engine that came out of the other 330, well, out of the 330. I can put it together. It was a running engine, just a timing chain gear broke. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing stripped down. Let's see what this head looks like.